Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You are here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish McFarlane. How's your day?
It's been good. It's busy. How's your day?
Not too bad. I'm not. I change for these shows often, Trish, because I don't want to do every single show in a 37-year-old T-shirt with the cutoff sleeves. And I'm just looking at myself for the first time, and I'm not sure I like red on me. I don't feel like red's my color.
Really?
Or maybe I just don't like red as a clothing color. Maybe I don't have a color. I'm not happy with the red.
Well, I think it looks fine.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll take that.
Comfortable. We're both in T-shirts, so that's
it's super hot here, which is great. Not complaining. I love it. It's probably 90 something. Sun's out, and it's also raining pretty hard at the same time. I can't figure out what's going on.
You need to look for rainbows after this.
The sun, the heat, the rain, everything. You had I learned a new word last night called derecho.
The what?
The derecho. That huge wind that blows through everything.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, it's a meteorological term. Derecho. I hope I said that right.
Derecho. It was scary.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'll just say it looked a little bit like straight line winds to me. It was like sheets of wind that were coming through, and it just. Oh, I have these huge lampposts in my backyard, like around the pool, and it blew some of the little things off of those and broke those, and
that's awful.
Branches everywhere. I really got off lucky. Karen that we work with had much more damage.
I know. She informed me. Awful.
She comes on and talks about the goats quite often, and I'll tell you what, she had a huge tree outside the goat pen struck by lightning, and the whole thing fell into the goat pen while Karen was out there. The storm literally came out of nowhere. We had no idea, no warning about it. It's just all of a sudden it was upon us. And so, we spent several hours yesterday, and then I spent more hours today trying to clean up that.
Clean up.
Yeah. So
I know you guys have had a rough night, and I think Karen's still out of power. And I was going to complain because last night it wasn't the same derecho storm all the way where I live, but it's so hot, right? We're in kind of almost like a Florida pattern here, where just about every afternoon or early evening we get a little thunderstorm. Mm-hmm. And I was out there grilling, which is what I typically will do for dinner, and I had some chicken grilling, bone-in chicken, which takes a while to cook, and I don't know what time I started it, but it needed more time to cook, and then it started pouring down rain. So it was a whole matter of like, I was standing there above the little grill with my umbrella trying to, keep the water off the grill and of me and my chicken. Came out fine though.
Good.
I got a little wet, but the chicken was
Can you move your microphone a little bit closer? It's a little bit cutting out, so that might work better. We'll try that. Okay. Oh, that's much better.
All right. Sorry.
Perfect. No, that's okay. I didn't interrupt your story, but I definitely.
No, it was an awful story. I have another thing that's concerning me, though.
Okay, what's concerning you today?
Apparently, there's a Dr. Pepper shortage. I have not been to the store in a while, but I read an article about it. There's a Dr. Pepper shortage in many parts of the nation. This is my last Dr. Pepper that I had here in the house. Should I go ahead and just go for it, you think? It's not open
I think
yet.
you should just, let's just do it and have it.
It is one of my very favorite beverages, and
we talked yesterday about needing to change up some of the products we use. Maybe you need to try Mr. Pibb. Okay. Maybe you need to go full different, like bubbly or some other type drink.
I have adopted the San Pellegrino sodas over this summer, and you have seen them many times on the show. As a matter of fact, but today I went for the Diet Dr. Pepper. I am concerned though, if there is a true Diet Dr. Pepper shortage. That'll be a little bit of a blow for me. I'll recover.
You should contact our friend Jill Strange, who is now with Dr. Pepper.
Yes, that's correct.
Maybe formerly of something about it. Yeah, Jill Strange. For anyone who's not familiar, please go follow
Dr. Jill Strange to us.
Dr. Jill Strange. She is a brilliant woman. And she's on LinkedIn. I know that much. And she was one of the main innovation leaders at Infor in their talent science for many, many years. So, but she's a Dr. Pepper now. So maybe that's your hookup.
And she has the same name as a superhero, Dr. Strange.
I know. Isn't that nice?
That is awesome.
I know.
If that were my name and I were a doctor, that's what I would make people call me all the time. I would never go by my first name. I would never go by Mr. I would insist to be called Dr. Strange.
Okay. Well, good. Well, listen, I had a question for you. I read this really interesting article. So people do weird things. I think we're just, it's a pandemic. Uh, Everything is just up for grabs.
I've heard there's something going on. Yeah.
Yeah, to do things differently or whatever. So I heard about this woman. Have you ever spent a lot of money doing landscaping around your yard?
I have in my lifetime. It's been some amount of time since I've done that, but I have, yes.
Yeah. I feel like we all have, and I don't know about you, but it's like, I don't care whether it's little plants or shrubs or whatever I put in. I mean, they cost quite a bit and you get them in, and then sometimes the plants don't make it. Like, that's just how it goes. You're going to lose a certain percent of your new shrubs or bushes or little trees or whatever it is you put in, right?
The world is an imperfect place. Yes, that does happen.
It is. So this mom had a great idea. I read this article yesterday actually about it. And she went to her local, Walmart, whatever, and bought green spray paint. And any of the plants that died, any of the little trees that died, she sprayed them green. And I'll tell you what, I love her innovation ideas there, because that is just really—
that's quick thinking. Yeah.
Right. And plus, it just kind of struck a chord with me, because not too long ago, I had these stools. I might have even mentioned it on the show before.
Yes, you were painting them, right?
And I went to Walmart and I got some spray paint. Spray paint is fun. I would spray paint.
Oh yeah, we talked about the little, when you shake it up and that little ball bearing inside rattles around. That's a very satisfying sound.
So now you can spray paint your plants.
I should get some spray paint. I actually have no plants, and I probably should acquire one for my backyard. I have zero.
Hers, to be fair, was more of almost looked like a miniature Christmas tree. So it had some texture to it, and it kind of was spinning around as it got bigger. So it was a pretty good sized plant, and it just, turned brown and died. And she sprayed that thing green. It looks amazing. So
yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Hey, I wanted to follow up on one thing from yesterday's show.
Okay.
Close the loop on it. We talked about Big Brother just briefly, that it's back and all that. And I had to catch up, which I did last night before I retired for the evening. I watched the second episode, and I have to tell you something. I don't want to I try not to be negative on this show, but I feel like for an all-star season, this is not really a very likable group. It's not really kind of an exciting group. I was finding it very difficult to pick any of them to say, oh, I'm going to root for that person. Oh. I really struggled a little bit. A couple of them I didn't really remember either from sort of the earlier days of Big Brother, but I'm struggling. I think that I hope they all get thrown out of the house. That's where I'm thinking to right now. I think they're boring a little bit too. Maybe they're all playing it too safe, like because they're all smart and they know how to play and they don't want to kind of rile anything up. But I'm a little down. I hope it rallies this season. I feel like
we're only 2 shows in. You should give it a week or two just to
I will. Fair. It's pandemic, Trish. We're starved for entertainment. I'm going to give it plenty of opportunity to improve.
I was going to say, I think it's going to get good. Obviously, my man Kaysar is doing amazing.
You did see. I felt like he came off a little desperate.
Oh, I don't think so.
A little bit. Like I got to go up there and play that game to make sure I don't get kicked out in week 1. I don't know.
Can I tell you what? It was funny. My last HR job that I had doing, sort of day-to-day human resources was for a company called Perficient. And when I took the job, it was, I guess, not long before that, Kaysar worked there and had actually left to go do Big Brother originally. So I thought that was really cool. I was this close to meeting Kaysar. So
nice.
Kaysar, rooting for you, man.
A brush with Almost Famous. Hey, one quick thing. I know we talked offline because we're working on presentations for the HR Tech China event that's coming up.
Right.
We will be presenting virtually along with some other folks. But one last thing, and I did an Alexa show on this, and I like to shout out the Alexa show every once in a while on this show because I still do 2 or 3 of them a week. So on the HR Happy Hour show on Alexa, I talked today about the Fortune Global 500, Trish, which are the largest 500 global companies ranked by revenue. Okay, ranked by revenue. So Walmart's number 1, right? The biggest company in the world by revenue. Here's the interesting thing this year on the Fortune Global 500, Trish. For the first time since they've been doing this, they've been doing it for 30 years. There are more companies headquartered in China on the list than in the United States. 124 companies, Chinese companies, 121 from the US. And if you include Taiwan in that number, it's a little bit higher as well. So I thought that was super interesting. Walmart is number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are Chinese companies.
Nice.
I
Well,
thought
I'll
that
tell you
was
what,
super
from my
fascinating.
time there, I would certainly say that makes sense because I think some of the cities and financial districts that I witnessed, I think you've witnessed, they're quite impressive. You can tell that there is a lot of big business there and
Yeah.
certainly a lot of revenue. So,
Yeah. And check out the Alexa show where I spend 2.5 minutes describing how interesting that was.
all right. Well, thank you. Thank you for mentioning HR Tech China. For anyone who's
I'm
interested,
excited.
so this is actually something I want to recommend, and as it gets closer, we'll let you know. But it is September 2nd and 3rd, and it will be a huge portion of it in English, streamed.
My portion is in English, just FYI.
It will be in English and in Mandarin, right? It'll be both. But we have a great lineup of speakers. I had so many people who were interested in going when it was still going to be an in-person event. It is actually still in person in Shanghai. It's just that anyone from outside of China, obviously
Right.
can't travel there for that, and so we are submitting. So it's not just US-based speakers. My goodness, I can't get it out. I also have I have our friend Francisco Reyes from Spain,
Yes.
who is a frequent listener to the Work Break, and I just watched his presentation today. It's outstanding. It's outstanding on behavioral economics. We have so many people. We have Elise from Best Money Moves.
Oh, great. Yeah, she's
and,
awesome.
yes, and she's talking about financial wellness and financial well-being. So we'll have some HR topics, some financial topics, some behavioral economics topics. It's going to be really good, and it will be all free. And so we will share that link as the time draws near.
Cool. And one last thing I know we want to probably cut out. I forgot to mention this yesterday, Trish.
What's
we
that?
talked about the Duresho and all the weather craziness in your area. There was an earthquake here in North Carolina on Sunday.
Really?
It's Sunday morning, 5.1 on the earthquake scale. I forget what that scale is called. It was the strongest earthquake in North Carolina in 100 years. And I didn't feel it because it was a little bit north and west, but I woke up to a lot of a couple of texts and people wondering had I felt the earthquake, and I didn't. But I think that was kind of an interesting note. Maybe we'll go out on that.
We get them here in the St. Louis metro area quite a bit, and in that 4.5 to 5 range. Yeah, sometimes you feel them, sometimes you don't. So yeah, people definitely panic a little bit when those things happen. So anyway,
crazy. It's all typical for 2020.
Good. Well, thank you for joining me for the Work Break, and thanks to everyone for listening in as always and watching. Give us ideas for any topics you want covered, and
send me Dr. Pepper if you have
it on Dr. Pepper shortage. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.